DJI just dropped the new Osmo Pocket 4P, and on paper, this tiny camera looks seriously impressive. It's packed with new technology, more control, and features that could make it one of the most capable pocket cameras on the planet. But here's the thing. Impressive specs don't always mean an impressive camera. So today, I'm putting this Osmo Pocket 4P through real-world testing to figure out what it actually does well, where it struggles, and whether all of these new features actually make a real difference. I'm actually shooting with it right now in my hotel room, and the lighting is very basic. It's not fancy lighting. There's no studio lighting. This is like actually kind of dark for most of my shooting situation, but we're gonna shoot it with a 4P, and we're just gonna list a couple of the features that are important to notice. And it's a real world experience because I've been hands-on with this camera for a while, and honestly, actually it's blown my expectation. I really thought that this is just going to be one of these camera that you kind of just have it, but you never really use it in the shoot. But to my surprise, even with Pocket 3, right, like it's good camera for vlogging, but for like professional video, it might not be the best one. But for this 4P, honestly, it blew my mind. First of all, let's talk about the one thing that I absolutely in love with, and one of the biggest reasons why this camera is on top of every other small camera in the market right now is the D-Log 2. Grading on the D-Log 2 is almost identical grading on the S-Log 3, on the Sony FX3, on the Sony a7S III that we all loved. The D-Log 2 is absolutely amazing. The 17 dynamic range, it's absolutely insane. The fact that you can, pull up the highlight and you can preserve the shadow. D-Log 2 is one of my favorite things right now, and that's the reason why in any shoot now, I'm actually bringing the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P. I'm bringing to my actual shoot because a lot of time, actually, maybe I can pull up this footage, but this is the video that I shoot for a sales team, and the footage between the 4P and the Sony a7S III, like you can't really tell, to be honest. It's really hard to tell. Actually, can you tell me? Like we can play right now and you can see if you can tell which one is the Pocket 4P and which one is shot on the Sony a7S III. Yeah, and then another thing that I'm absolutely love about this camera is obviously it's a gimbal, so it's very steady, and you don't have to have like a crazy, like if you have a Sony a7S III, you have to have a very heavy gimbal to come with it in order to shoot very smooth footage. Obviously this one is extremely lightweight, it's so easy to carry, and you can shoot all the time. And the battery life is absolutely amazing. I'm so surprised, but I shot a video and I'm using it for almost half a day, and the battery is still good. I can still go and shoot a lot more. This is the real world experience. Now, I'm not looking at stats. Obviously, you can check on stat on some of this stuff, but this is a real world experience as a videographer, as a content creator, a director in some of the creative project. This is what I noticed. And then the third thing is the tracking system. When you do gimbal, it's great to actually stay and track the subject, right? So the smooth footage is not the only thing, but also you want the subject to be in the middle of the frame. And the way to do that on the camera is a lot of work, but on this gimbal, it's absolutely easy. You can just double tap on someone's face when you're about to track them. And once when the face lock, you can just follow them and dead on in the middle. I use that a lot in some of my shoots. I mean, the footage turned out amazing. Another amazing thing about this camera is the slow motion feature. Now, you can slow down with a 240 frames per second. You can slow down 10% of the footage. That's absolutely amazing. Now, if you are familiar with FX3, Sony a7S III, I've been shooting that for so long, and I love the 120 frames per second. 120 frames per second is famously known, right? With all this slow motion shot, speed ramp shot, but the 240 frames per second bring it to the next level. The only issue with the 240 frames per second is that it doesn't let you shoot with D-Log 2. That's a issue, right? Like, because I love D-Log 2 so much. So like with 240 frames per second, you have to shoot with the standard color grade. That means you can't really play much with color on that slow motion shot. It's still usable, right? The standard color grade is still very usable. It's just that personally, when it comes to professional shot, I love the D-Log 2. I love the ability to be able to color grade however I want, but in this DJI Pocket 4P, you can still shoot 60 frames per second on D-Log 2. Now 60 frames per second is pretty good. You can still slow down 60%. Obviously it's not comparable to 10%, but it's still really nice. Also, one of the features is actually a sleeper, and not many people talk about it for some reason, but you can record straight internal storage on the camera, so you don't have to use the SD card at all. In fact, actually, I've been using this for a month now, and I haven't used any SD card connect to this camera. I've been using internal storage. So you basically, once you buy this camera, it's ready to shoot. You don't have to buy any new stuff. You don't have to add SD card or anything like that. The internal shooting is really good right now. I believe it has around 107 gigabyte inside internally, so you can shoot for a very long time without ever need an SD card. And for me, that's one of the best features. That also brings me to the limitation of this camera. Real world use, by the way, real world practice use. Is not just the stats or somebody just read off the list. This is what I've been using and what I've noticed, right? So 240 frames per second, it has to be standard color, so the color is limited a little bit. Also, the dual lenses, you can't zoom in 3x or 6x with the D-Log 2. So you can zoom in really fast with two lenses. However, it has to be on standard color. So that's the downside. That's the limitation of DJI Pocket 4P. I don't understand why they can just not put the D-Log 2 into both lenses, and I hopefully there's a future update where you can use D-Log 2 for 240 frames per second. Because for a videographer like me, or cinematographer, whatever you call it, the person like me, I love color grading, and that's the only downfall of this camera, right? Like, anything else is absolutely amazing for the real use. This is everything here is 4K, right? If you do vertical, it's 3K, but it doesn't matter to me. It's not about 4K or 8K or anything like that. It's about how you feel when you use it, right? And with the D-Log 2, I feel really great when it comes to color grading. And then the gimbal is so steady, it's so smooth. And then the slow motion, it's just like all of these things that I need in a camera. And this is the best camera when it comes to vlogging. It's so small, it's so easy to carry. For me, this is it for color grading. Now, for a lot of the action shot, for slow motion, for even like music video, this is also a great camera for me to use, and I'm gonna use it more. One more limitation I want to talk about is with the slow motion 240 frame, you also cannot do vertical. I don't understand why they not put the 240 frames per second in vertical. I mean, is that hard to do? But the hack for that is just basically you just have to, instead of hold the camera vertical like this, you just have to do that, you know? You just have to like hold it horizontally, so then the lens is going to be vertical this way. And then you can shoot 240 frames per second. Now that's kind of like a hack, and we use that to get this slow motion shot. Now, it's probably not officially sold in America. It's probably sold worldwide except America. If you get a hands on this camera, I think it's a great one. Probably one of the best cameras that I've seen for a long time. With this small compact size and this ability, it's absolutely insane. So that's pretty much for this review, guys. I hope it helps. This is just a real world reviews. Now there's some people out there that give you all the stats and you can use it. This is my actual review from using it for my work, right? And then using it for a lot of things. So I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, have a good one.